Have you guys been paying attention with what's going on in Miami? There was some pretty weird stuff that happened right around New Year's Day, I think, at the Miami Bayside Mall. Something really, really strange happened. Apparently, a whole lot of police officers got called out. And that really, and they surrounded the entire mall, and people were running and panicking, and there were like gunshots and stuff like that. And it was this really kind of strange, crazy event that lots of rumors are going around about. And the official story, of course, is that it was just people getting rowdy on New Year's Eve, and that there were some fireworks and some kids started fighting, stuff like that. But of course, the internet rumor mill started going around, and the current rumor is that it was actually aliens. So let's see. I say, how about we color this cat girl? I think we're pretty much done with our tribesman here. We'll just turn him off. This is something I drew back in 2018, I think. Maybe we'll turn this into something cool or not. Who knows? So people are saying that this big event that happened at the mall was not just teenagers fighting. It wasn't just some crazy stuff happening on New Year's. It was an alien invasion. Pretty crazy stuff. Where did all of this come from, right? Well, let's take a look at what the official story has to say, actually, right? I've got here a link from Twitter, and go ahead and listen to the official story.
Say the reason this whole brawl started was after a group of teenagers started lighting off fireworks in Bayside Marketplace. Now, this scared many people half to death. It sent people running, and it was after that a lot of these teenagers began throwing punches. Fireworks and fights, sending crowds running at Bayside Marketplace New Year's Day. The chaos causing a citywide emergency call. Police parked up and down Biscayne Boulevard even.
Now that was a lot of cop cars, right? Let's just rewind that a little bit. Just take a look at that, right? That is a ton of cop cars here. Like, I mean, goddamn. How many cop cars do you think that is? Okay. All of them? I don't know, but let's continue on.
Chaos causing a citywide emergency call. Police parked up and down Biscayne Boulevard, even closing the road between 2nd and 4th Street for about an hour. Police say the mayhem started around 8:30 with multiple fights involving teens breaking out.
Okay.
That was very chaotic.
Marcus Ramey was on his way to Bayside when he saw one of the fights live streamed on social media.
And they started tussling, and then another girl jumped in, and they started fighting. And then that's when somebody said, "Oh, there goes the police," and everybody started scattering and running.
Then police responded in full force, arresting 4 teens and 2 of them charged with battery.
That's terrible because we came here to take pictures.
All right, you get the idea. Let's fast forward this a little bit. I don't know if I want to listen to the entire thing here. Let's put this at 1.5 speed, just to get through the official story.
5 guys, and now everything's shut down.
And then after, police say a driver was jumped for asking who threw a bottle at his car.
This is our first time here in Miami, and we're just like, dang, that's crazy.
But it could have gotten crazier and even more dangerous without that massive Miami police response.
It may look like an overreaction with the amount of officers that responded, but the truth is that's really part of strategy.
Former Miami Police Chief Jorge Colina says in situations like this, there is truly strength in numbers.
When you're kind of showing overwhelming.
So just to kind of review again, look how many cars there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Quite a lot here. 30. I mean, that's at least 20, maybe 25. Quite a lot of cop cars. So something pretty bad must have happened. But that's the official story. We got to see, there's just some more footage of people and kids and shit like that, right? Of course, nothing can happen nowadays anywhere in the entire country without a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists and rumors and stuff flying around. Right. And here is one of the actual videos that got everybody saying that this was not caused by a bunch of kids fighting and setting off fireworks and going crazy on New Year's, but rather an alien invasion. So this is also from Twitter. Let's go ahead and turn this up. Let me show you exactly what's going on here. So this is from somebody named Michelle Hugh. A dying dinoid from the Puerto Rico Trench. Okay. So here's the video supposedly showing an alien walking in front of the mall. Let's turn that up. So here's the actual really kind of low resolution video. And yeah, it looks like something weird. If you didn't know what that was, let's just sort of freeze frame it. Kind of looks like, you know, maybe some tentacles or something. She says a dinoid, right? This person, whoever Michelle Who is. I have no idea who Michelle Who is. Just some random fucking person. But she was kind enough to tweet this for us. Okay, looks a little strange, wouldn't you say? Now we have here also another video of the same thing. Let's turn that on. So here it is with sound. We don't really need the sound. Let's turn the sound off. But you can kind of see it right here in front of the stage there. Supposedly that's an alien walking around. Okay. Close up of one of the pictures so you can kind of make it out there. And then this, of course, is the location of the underground dinoid base in Central America. What the hell is a dinoid, you may be saying? I didn't know what a dinoid was either, but here's what dinoids are. I looked them up on the internet. Dinoids are the same thing as reptilians, except the typical reptilian in UFO lore comes from a planet in the Draco constellation and are supposed to be actual extraterrestrials, actual aliens that come from this other planet off in this constellation, which is just so helpfully named Draco, whatever, right? Dinoids instead are supposed to be actual beings that evolved from dinosaurs. That is, they are from the planet Earth originally, and somehow a population of dinosaurs either found its way off of the planet or evolved and created space travel before the actual extinction of the dinosaurs, you know, whether that was from a comet that ended at the end of the Jurassic, you know, whatever the comet that hits the Earth, you know, kills all the dinosaurs, whether it was that event or it was something else that killed them. That's what a dinosauroid. So think dinosauroid. That's what they are. Basically, they're reptilians, but instead of being extraterrestrials, they're descended from dinosaurs. I mean, the thing about UFO lore is that it's all over the place because, let's face it, folks, it's all just made-up bullshit. But some people say they live in the center of the Earth. There's other people that say that they're fourth dimensional, or that they've moved on, or maybe the reptilians that are from the Draco constellation or whatever are like actually dinosauroids that have like evolved and then migrated to that planet for some reason, you know, 65 million years ago or whatever. So that's the thing about UFO lore. Like, no two people say the same thing. It's really because it's just all, like I said, it's all just science fiction. It's all just made up baloney that people write, and so they can sell like self-help books and shit. Right, in the paranormal section of the bookstore. That's what it really is. There's no actual truth in any of this. But anyway, that's what Michelle Hugh here seems to believe. Now, just to kind of show you how fast this stuff can develop, here is an actual video showing the same thing, a much more high-resolution video here. Come on, Twitter, thank you. Load, you piece of shit. Here's an actual high-resolution video showing the exact same thing from a different angle. And let's just get rid of the sound. And you can see it's just a couple of people walking. See, do you see it right there? See, when it zooms in, you can see them. Don't really look like aliens anymore, do they? They look like actual people just walking. So, god damn it, Twitter, quit fucking... Twitter sucks so much, goddamn. It's like you click on it. I turned the sound off on purpose. I click on it, the sound comes back on. What a piece of shit. But yeah, you can see them. They're just normal, ordinary people. Let's let that repeat. There it goes. See? Just a couple of people walking. Don't look like no dinoids to me. So just to kind of show you how fast it develops, this was literally less than 24 hours after this supposed event occurred that all of these tweets and posts everywhere started flying all over the place. This happened because of this guy here. Here is a link to a guy on TikTok, a supposed witness. So let's bring this guy over here. This is from somebody named Sosa Pippin on TikTok. And let's see what the man has to say. Right? I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit smaller, drag this over here, because I should be drawing while all of this is going on. So let's listen to what Sosa Pippin has to say, what his eyewitness testimony is, and let's let the man take it away.
So, since nobody's going to talk about it, I figured, you know, fuck it, like, you know what I'm saying? I was down in Miami for the New Year's, you know what I'm saying? Me and my girl, I got a little timeshare. We was down there on a like a mini vacay, you know, just to start the New Year's off right. So anyway, we happened to be at that mall. So we had Foot Locker or whatever. Next thing you know, you start hearing all this commotion outside, sound like firecrackers or something. So, you know what I'm saying? I grab her close. I'm like, yo, we about to get up out of here, because I originally thought that they were shooting. You know what I'm saying? I thought, you know, some type of gunfight had broke out, whatever the case is, because, you know, we're not familiar with Miami, we're not familiar with the city. So I'm like, damn, I ain't even got my blick. So, you know what I'm saying? We about to swerve. Next thing I know, it's like crazy. Like, we just see all these people running, like, you know, fat chicks, you know, old ladies. Like, I'm talking about moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, old people even move. I'm talking about moving. So, you know, my girl, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, fuck all that. We out. Like, I'm not gonna ask no questions. We just gonna follow the crowd. Next thing you know, real like gunshots start going off. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to follow the crowd, get out of there. I look back, no cap, yo, no cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows. But
no cap, huh? I'm afraid that I am not hip to the lingo that you youngsters use nowadays. I'm assuming that no cap means no bullshit. Is that what that means? Okay. So here's the thing. The thing he's describing here is something that a lot of sort of witnesses of extraterrestrials tend to repeat, right? They say the same kind of things. It's the idea that they're sort of not fully there, whether it's like some kind of cloaking device kind of thing like the Predator, or whether it's sort of like they're not fully in this dimension, that, you know, something like that. This is actually a very common thing that a lot of UFO close encounter of the third kind type people would say, right? So let's just rewind that a little bit so you can get the full description.
A few shadows, but they were solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving. Next thing you know, we start hearing more gunshots. Like, these dudes start firing at this shit. Get outside, mad police, all that. You know what I'm saying? The police is like trying to get all the people that ran out the mall. They like trying to like detain these people, whatever. But, you know, me and my girl, we ended up just, you know, sliding past all that and everything like that. But, you know, a lot of people saying, why didn't nobody film and all that? When that type of shit is going on, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, like some paranormal, nobody thinking about no phone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going survival mode. But for real, they lying, yo. It was all them officers and all that. They was not there because of no kids fighting. It was really some like movie shit going on in there, yo. So, you know, that's what it was, yo.
Really some movie shit going on, huh? Now, this testimony, this video, for the first day, I saw this posted all over the place. This was posted on Reddit, in like 6 different places. There's a subreddit called High Strangeness. It got posted there. There's one called Aliens. There's one called UFOs. So it basically hit up all of the sort of UFO-centered subreddits. I saw it all over Twitter. Like a million places all over Twitter. I saw it on Facebook. It was everywhere. Then, like less than a day later, another video comes out by the same guy. Turns out it was all a troll.
How I wake up, my shit jumping like the trap. Nah, but for real, like real shit though, in the dead homies, I was trolling. I ain't never even been to Miami. Shit, yo, y'all be bugging. Yo, real shit though, y'all stay away from the fucking aliens and all that. Y'all be safe out there.
I've never even been to Miami. Now, why did I choose this video? Right, why didn't I go to his actual channel and look at his retraction video? Because this is what it is. He's admitting that it was just all a troll and he made the whole thing up. But why did I choose this video and not his official one? Well, let's make that a little bigger. Let's rewind it. And you see here, somebody else posted this, but they posted it with this nice little caption. Body language indicates deception and possibly under duress in this latest video. Pay attention when you watch his eyes. As in, the person that reposted this thinks that Mr. Souza Pippin here is being coerced, is being forced to make this video retraction. As in, someone is threatening him or his family. I don't know if I buy it. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't think I buy it. He's in a car. It's not like there's somebody behind him with a gun to his head, right? So why would he make his retraction video in his car? That doesn't make any sense. You would think he would do it at home. You would think that he would look much more visibly duressed as well. Like, what, is there a guy in the room with him, threatening him, pointing a gun at him? Did they threaten his family? Did they bribe him? That's the other thing. Like, oh, did he get bribed? Maybe they offered him $1 million if he would retract it. I'd fucking retract that shit for $1 million. Fuck it. It's just sort of like, I don't buy it. It doesn't look like to me that he's under duress. Like, let's just watch it without the sound, okay? Let's watch it without the sound. Doesn't really look like, to me, that the guy's being coerced. It doesn't look like he's nervous. It doesn't look like he's overly happy. So they didn't bribe him with money. He's not laughing at people. He is kind of a little bit sort of like, you people are nuts. Why did you believe me? Right? I mean, seriously. Let's watch it one more time. Does it look like he's scared? I mean, I'm not a body language expert. Okay? I admit it. I'm not a body language expert. I can't read people just by looking at their eyes and shit like that. But generally, I can tell if someone, you can tell if somebody's nervous. You can tell if somebody's angry, pissed off, right? You can generally tell these things if somebody is, for the most part, unless they're like, I don't know, super good at hiding it. So, inconclusive is what I would say. But it doesn't really lend itself to me, I don't think, somebody who is under duress. That doesn't really make sense to me. So here's another witness that I want to show to you guys. And let's see, this one is actually from Reddit, and it's a little bit longer, but this guy's name is Columbus710 on TikTok. You can kind of check him out. He says that he was there through the whole thing. And he's got some interesting things to say. So, unfortunately, I don't think I can speed this one up. But let's listen to it because it's actually kind of interesting.
My name is Fitz. I was there at the Bayside Mall with my family. And we all saw exactly what happened. Don't pay attention to a lot of the videos that are out there. I feel like a lot of people are trying to use this for clout. But what happened we all saw what happened, and it's pretty serious. It's been a few days, but our whole family's processing it. But I think we've kind of like accepted that we were a part of this weird experience and moment. So basically, what happened was I was there with my brother Brian, my sister, and my nephew. We were looking for shoes for my nephew. And then we see a whole crowd of people outside the store, just running out in a direction. So, as soon as we saw it, we were like, oh shit, what's going on? So we immediately ran out with our nephew, and we picked him up and we ran out and we followed the crowd. And then about like a few seconds later, as soon as we started running, my nephew, he's autistic, so he was pointing behind us and he was saying blankie, which he'll usually say whenever he feels unsafe or scared. And he was pointing behind us. So me and my brother, we looked behind us, and then we see these 3 9-10 foot tall creatures. I'm not gonna say aliens. Everyone keeps saying it's aliens. I'm not saying aliens because I don't know what it was. None of us really knew everyone. All of us stopped in our track. We, a whole bunch of people were pointing at it. There were other people running. There was a crowd. As soon as it made itself more apparent, it looked like it was glitching. Not like a computer pixelation, but like a wavy glitch. And whatever maybe was covering them had, unveiled or whatever. Yeah, it looked like a glitch, man. It like a weird glitch in the Matrix or whatever.
Just want to reiterate once again, that's something that a lot of witnesses to these types of things report. They say that the things they see are not all the way there. Whether it's some kind of cloaking device, whether they're not fully in this reality or whatever. And it's also worth noting that really wasn't something that people would report until maybe the last 15-20 years. That is to say, if somebody in the 1950s or 60s reported seeing an alien, they didn't report seeing cloaking devices. That's why, the thing is, if you look at popular culture nowadays, it's like a sci-fi trope now. It's a convention in science fiction to have aliens that use technology to turn invisible in some way. They have a Romulan cloaking device or something, from Star Trek, or you have the Predator, which can turn itself invisible, and you can kind of see it barely, right? Or even if you go on YouTube and look at things like analog horror, things like the Backrooms and stuff like that, or Siren Head or whatever, and you get lots of this weird twitchy sort of stuff that comes out of that. So that's just one thing that's kind of worth noting. And you just imagine if these things were actually real. If people have been seeing them for, close to 80 years now. Like, when was the first reported sightings of these types, like modern UFO sightings? Like, 1947? And then very shortly thereafter, people started reporting seeing actual aliens. Why is it that the whole glitchy cloaking device, multi-dimensional kind of thing is only something that's happened in the last couple of years? Why haven't they been reporting that for like decades at this point? It's like, no, it's only since that kind of thing has become a popular sci-fi trope that it's actually been something that people report. Kind of doesn't really fit there. Not to say that I don't believe this guy. This actual video, this guy seems to be a little more sincere than the last guy, obviously. But I don't know. Still kind of sounds like bullshit. But let's listen to the rest of it. We're only 2 minutes in.
And then you could see it in its full form, all 3 of them. And then they were all black. You saw eyes, and you could faintly see like lips. But I was about like 20 feet away, because obviously everybody gave it distance, right? And they're tall, so we all just like looked at them. They were just standing there, and the thing that was a little bit weird, well, it was clearly like observing us. It was sentient, right? Like, or whatever. I don't know, but it was aware of us. it looked at us, the whole crowd, and then as soon as it started walking with its big legs, like kind of like it started like almost glitching again, we all ran. My brother like immediately said, yo, let's go. He grabbed me by the shoulder. We bolted out of there. And for anyone that's like saying, you know, where's the footage? Yeah, I know. I don't have any footage, and I'll explain why. Because like when I saw it, I was in complete fear. It was something that I completely froze, man. I don't care if I sound like a bitch about it. Like, I froze. And I don't care who you are. I feel like when you're seeing something paranormal, it's different than when you're seeing a fight. Yeah, you'll probably want to record that and put it on WorldStar or whatever. When you see something paranormal, that's different. Because you're...
Now, I could find this believable. I actually do find that believable. Right? If you really think about it, if you actually saw something in real life that was really just bizarre and you had no idea what it was. Like, imagine you're walking down the street, fucking Bigfoot jumps out right in front of you or something, right? And he's hanging out with the Loch Ness Monster, and then there's also Elvis, and all three of them are just chilling, like playing craps or whatever. Immediately, do you bust your phone out? Like, no. A couple of seconds, you would be a little bit in shock. I think most people would just be like, what the hell's going on? What the fuck is happening? Then they might think, oh, I should get some footage of this once they start to kind of come to your senses. I mean, I think most people, that's kind of how they act when they're confronted with something that they don't understand. At first, they're just sort of chilling, watching it, not wondering what's going on, and then suddenly they go, shit, I should record this. Now, I could completely believe that. What I don't believe is that an entire mall full of teenagers, there's no footage of anything at all. I find that not believable. Somebody would have been filming something even before the shit started, and somebody would have gotten over that shock earlier. Somebody wouldn't be in shock because they wouldn't know what it is, and so they'd be like, oh, what's going on over there? And they'd start filming it thinking that it was a fight or something, or thinking that it was a celebrity, right? Because from what it sounds like, it kind of sounds like these things show up, right? People wonder what it is. They walk over to see what's going on, and then they panic and start running away. Now, nobody is filming it. I really find that hard to believe, because just people are filming everything everywhere all of the time now. Somebody would have got some footage. Somebody would have hung around, even if it was aliens, and they were panicking and screaming their fucking heads off. They would have been filming as they were running. So I find the fact that there's no decent footage of what's going on there. I mean, let alone, people have also said, well, what about the surveillance footage? How come we don't have that? And it's like, whatever. Okay, I can understand. Yeah, okay, maybe they're hiding it, something like that, right? I find the fact that nobody got on their phones, their high definition 17 megapixel phones or whatever, and got photos or video of it or live streamed it or whatever. I don't find that believable. Just to kind of give you an example, you remember back a few months back, there was this huge explosion in Beirut. Remember that? This gigantic fucking, I think it was like a year ago, something like that. Gigantic explosion in Beirut just randomly happens because there was a fire, and apparently this one factory, there was like some kind of chemical factory, and then it just blows up and it looks like a nuclear bomb, and like everybody within like a mile of that building just got fucking annihilated. Remember that? Just look up on YouTube Beirut explosion and you'll see it. How come there's footage of that? There's footage of it that people who didn't even intend to take the footage of it, they just happened to catch it on their phones. Why? Because people were recording stuff. Because even in Beirut, people have cell phones, and they're recording shit all the fucking time. Somebody would have recorded something. Somebody out there would have been on Instagram, or somebody would have been out there making a funny video of their friend, or, whatever. Filming somebody's dog, some shit like that. That would have been happening, and we would have got this fucking on video. So, no, I just find that, okay, yeah, maybe you yourself personally, you were there and you panicked and you ran away. Somebody else would have got it. So I just find that shit not believable. I'm sorry. This is not, it's just not credible to me. Anyway, let's continue.
Your reality, you can't comprehend what you're seeing. A fight, you kind of get it. Two people are fighting. You can comprehend that. Something like this, none of us could comprehend. Your first instinct is like, it ain't to like take out your phone and start recording. Your first instinct is like, I've never seen this before. What is this? Is it gonna hurt me or my family? That was my first number one priority. So if you don't believe me, I get it. You know, it's fine. Like, it is silly. I'm sure that someone had footage from that night. If you did, please contact me just so that, you know, we actually have it. So anyways, as soon as the creature started moving, we all just jetted out there. We ran out the front doors. And, you know, obviously, like, we see a whole sea of cop cars, mad cop cars, where other ones were coming in. And we ran with our nephew, and then, you know, a cop stopped us. You know, they took us a little to a bit of a safer area behind the cars. And then they asked us what we saw. And we told them what we saw. You know, they wrote it down, and they asked everybody to check their phones. Not everybody, because there was mad people like running away too, right? They couldn't get everyone. So I'm wondering if someone's gonna post a video.
That's another thing that I've heard from here. They were saying that every single person, like, police surrounded everybody and made everybody delete anything that they did get footage of. I don't find that possible either. That's bullshit. Right? The police cannot make you, first, they cannot make you delete what's on your phone. All you have to do is say no, and then lock your phone. What are they going to do, smash your phone? No. Take your phone away from you? They can't just fucking take it. If they do take it, then it causes, like, a big problem. Police are not allowed to just take something from you. Not allowed to just confiscate something. They have to fill out paperwork and stuff like that, right? If a cop comes up and confiscates fireworks from a kid, he has to fill out paperwork there. He can't just, like, take it, throw it away in a fucking... No, that's, like, evidence, right? Especially, I mean, if it's, like, a $600 phone or whatever, $1,200 phone, however much you pay for your phone. Cop can't just take that from you if you want that shit back. It's like, no, that's my phone. Is he going to confiscate it? It goes into evidence. You are supposed to get it back. If you're not being charged with a crime, you are supposed to get your property back. So, no, they can't. I mean, what are they going to do? Arrest every single fucking person that refuses to delete their phone? Not possible. Are they going to search everybody? What if somebody just says, hey, I don't have a phone? Are they going to search every single person coming out of that mall? It's like, there's like an active, like, mass hysteria thing going on, where some people are claiming aliens. They're hearing noises. The police think it was a active shooter situation. That's why there were so many cop cars there, by the way. They thought it was an active shooter situation, so that's why 60 some odd fucking cop cars show up, because they were surrounding that mall, making sure that there wasn't a madman with a machine gun in there, right? That's the actual real story of, like, why there were so many cops there. I just simply don't find that believable. I don't find the idea that the police could control crowds of hundreds of people, hundreds and hundreds of people, right? Hundreds of potential witnesses. I don't find it believable that they were able to confiscate every single person's phone or force every single person to go through their phone and delete things.
But yeah, they looked through everyone's phone. I didn't record anything, so I was fine. None of us recorded anything, so we were basically free to go. But in the distance, you could still see, like, you know, I didn't see the being...
I mean, let alone the fact that that's illegal, by the way. Cops are not allowed to just make you delete your phone. They're not allowed to make you to go through your phone either. That's not a lawful order. You know, because that's evidence of something. So you may have recorded evidence of a crime or something. They're not allowed to go through and say, okay, delete that. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if you witness something top secret, the army could do it. All right? That's like the only time. You know, if you stumbled across something and it was like super top secret, right? The army or the CIA or something, they could come to you, you know, the fucking whatever, the NSA, whatever the fuck. Those people can come and say, give me your fucking phone, take it, delete your shit, and you don't have a choice. Right? Like national security. Like, that's the only time that can happen. A police officer, because of a fucking riot at a mall? No, they're not allowed to do that at all. So, and what, nobody at that mall fucking put up a fight over that? A cop can't even give somebody a parking ticket without them flipping their fucking mind, flipping their lid and going crazy. So, let alone a police officer forcing you to delete your phone, it's just not believable. It's simply not believable. It's like something you would see in the X-Files, like in a movie. Like, these people have watched too many fucking, like, alien abduction movies or something, and they think that's just how it works. It's like, that's not... There's no fucking way. Sorry. I find that shit more unbelievable than there actually being aliens there, to be honest. Moving on.
Beings come out the door, right? But you could see on the side of the building, kind of like that clip that everyone's seeing, that it was slowly walking. And it was like, it wasn't cloaking or glitching or whatever. It was walking. So I don't know if it seemed more like it was an interdimensional thing. Someone's coming into our dimension or whatever, a bunch of them. And I think, that it was just interesting, the police response, because there was a whole bunch of them. This ain't for no teenagers. No, this...
That was the video, by the way, that we just watched. The video he's referring to, by the way, is the video of the 3 people walking in front of the stairs that we just looked at. And if you look at the high resolution version of it, it is clearly just people walking. It's not aliens, it's nothing like that. Kind of, that's a strike against this guy. It makes me want to not believe him when he is referring to shit that's already been debunked. Kind of makes me think that this dude is also trolling.
This was for something way bigger. And it almost seemed like the cops had like an already made strategy for it, because they surrounded one of the beings with like all their police cars. They blared it up even louder because you could hear that it was louder. Maybe as an attempt to like distract it or let it know like, hey, you don't belong here, right? And they were trying to like slowly move alongside with it. But I didn't see anything else after that, because me and my family, we got out of there. We went into our car. We went home, because we had our nephew with us, and we went to make sure like he was okay. So I'm still kind of like processing everything. Like, it's weird, but at the same time, I'm glad that we weren't alone in seeing it, because like it was a whole bunch of us that saw it, and it feels kind of like you're part of something like really big, but at the same time it's confusing, because like you want to kind of like show people. Like, I wish I took a video, man, like, because people are gonna probably think I'm crazy, right? But yeah, I'm left with more questions. Like, we were all kind of left with more questions than anything else. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's aliens. I know everybody's saying it's aliens. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is I saw something come in through like a weird glitchy, maybe a portal or whatever. And it was like they were pretty tall. You could see some features of it. They were very dark, like and shiny. But I can't tell if it was like a wet shiny or like a metallic shiny. And long limbs. Long limbs, long fingers. They were definitely humanoid in shape, and shadowy. But that maybe that shadowiness was like from a glitch or whatever, like whatever cloaking maybe they had like fell off. But yeah, it felt like something was coming into our world or whatever, like a fucking Stranger Things episode. But it was crazy, man. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm not buying it. I want to believe. Don't get me wrong, folks. I am a believer in extraterrestrials. I believe extraterrestrials exist. I just don't believe that they showed up at the Bayside Mall in Miami and scared a bunch of people and had the cops called on him. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. It's not something that is not making logical sense. Everything this guy is saying is stuff that is sort of, they're like popular sci-fi tropes now. You know, he's talking about portals, extra dimensions, other universes, that kind of thing. Just all happens to be stuff people see in Rick and Morty. Right? Like, do you think a dude like that has any idea what like extra dimensional portal travel was before Rick and Morty came out? Like, no. Right, please. How do you think he would have framed it if he had never seen Rick and Morty? Okay, like, or if he'd never seen Star Trek, or if he'd never seen the, you know, cloaking devices from the Predator or whatever. I really do want to believe him. I mean, I think the dude's acting is really good. You know, he's definitely acting very, very well. He's definitely seems like he's sincere, but I don't think so. The fact that he's citing a video that is debunked already. Are you seriously telling me, like, I mean, just think about it for 5 minutes. Like, no one got footage of it? No one tried to shoot the aliens? You know, it's Miami. There's people walking around with firearms and shit all over the place. That would be the first fucking thing that would happen. Right? If aliens show up, some fucking moron is gonna take a shot at them and start a fucking war. Here's another video that I found intriguing, right? Because I will admit, the dude that we just watched, I think that, okay, maybe there could be something to what he's saying, right? Maybe he's sincere. I mean, the fact that, I just want to say it one more time, the fact that he quoted a debunked video knocks him way down on the trustworthy ladder to me. But, you know, maybe he actually did see something or whatever. Here's one other video that I saw. This is about a guy who says that his father was running for sheriff in Florida and says that he's not allowed to talk to it. So apparently this is the guy running for sheriff, and let's listen to what the actual video has to say.
Hey. I'm Ruben De La Rua, running for Miami-Dade County Sheriff, 2024.
All right, so that's the guy running for sheriff. Okay. So you can tell that it's him.
Hey, have you been seeing the alien stuff? Did you see that at Bayside?
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Are you serious?
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
You're joking. You're joking.
I'm serious.
Did they tell you not to talk about it?
How many times do you want me to slice the pie? I'm not allowed to know about it.
What?
I do know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Can you at least say, like, whatever? So they're saying it's like a fight broke out.
4 teens are in jail this afternoon after an incident late last night at Bayside Market.
Okay, thank you. Just go back to the guy. Go back to, thank you. Okay, so I guess whoever made this is splicing it with footage and shit so you can tell that this is the official story. Go back to the guy talking to his dad.
Like a fight broke out. Why did they send so many police cars?
Some very bad editing there.
Are you serious? You can't say any?
A group of teens possibly...
Alright, anyway, that video is all fucking weird and edited very strangely, but I thought that was interesting. Somebody saying that they're not allowed to talk about it. I don't know why someone running for sheriff would not be allowed to speak about it. I mean, unless you're the actual sheriff, then, I mean, I guess the actual sheriff, if he was trying to cover something up, would say it, but why would someone who's just running for sheriff be intimidated into not talking about it? Who gives a shit what you say if you're not... I mean, do you ever notice that? Do you ever notice how conspiracy theorists and stuff are basically allowed to say whatever they want, and, like, no one from the government ever tries to, like, silence them or, like, murder them or anything like that? Like, that never happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll get somebody like Alex Jones or whatever, and they say all this, like, outlandish shit, and they always try to claim that the government doesn't want me to tell you this or whatever. It's like, well, how come the government's not doing anything to stop you? I mean, do you really think if somebody like, say, Alex Jones, I'm just using him because he's a famous conspiracy theorist, if he actually did have the inside skinny on any of the things he talks about, that, and he really was revealing top secret stuff or whatever, or like revealing information that was putting anybody or anything at risk, do you really think they wouldn't just kill him? I mean, that's what we're expected to believe, right? We're expected to believe that government is all powerful and that they're like shady and that they can just murder people without any kind of accountability or whatever. I mean, we're also expected to believe that they have all kinds of weird clandestine methods of murdering people, like shooting you with poison pellets from like a mile away, or using insect-sized drones to like shoot you full of poison or anything like that. So it's like, you would think if they had access to these exotic methods of execution, that it would be easy to kill someone. You know, there's another conspiracy. Alex Jones himself said this, that they whoever they is, you know, the shadow government cabal, whatever, is able to create custom viruses that will give you cancer, and it will be a virus that'll give you and only you cancer, and nobody else, or only people within your family or whatever. Right? Like somebody with your DNA, like those are the only people that'll ever get cancer. Like, you know, from these sort of custom viruses that were made, like shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, if they have these capabilities, why would they need to silence anybody? Like, how come they can't just kill you if you're saying something that they don't like? It's funny how it never works out like that. Funny how they never actually stop the famous conspiracy theorists from spreading their bullshit. Right? I mean, I don't understand. So, yeah, I don't find that believable either. I mean, I thought that was intriguing, but I don't find it believable that the government, whoever they are, I know the Miami Police Department, maybe? I mean, whoever they are would pressure a candidate for sheriff into not saying anything. And why would a candidate for sheriff have any information about anything at all? He's not the actual sheriff. Right? So what, he's got friends that told him? Well, so what? So what? Like, who's to believe anything that some random wacko says anyway? Like, I mean, it's kind of like these guys who like people like Bob Lazar, right? Like, I personally think like there's merit to some of what Bob Lazar says. But at the same time, he's saying that, oh, I was at this top secret facility and all this other shit and blah, 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 right? No one has done anything to try to shut him up. So he's like spilling the beans on Area 51. No one has tried to murder him. No one has tried to shut him up. No one's bribed him with money. I mean, you'd think a guy like him, you know, they would just give him a few $1 million to tell him to shut his fucking trap. He'd probably do it. I mean, it doesn't follow the actual pattern of a government that tries to intimidate people, because we know that in other countries, when this shit happens, they just kill you. If they want, you know, like for example, Putin, if Putin wants you to shut the fuck up, you just die. They just kill you. You fall out of a window or something. In China, you say something that they don't like. If the government doesn't like you and they say they don't like you, they just kill you. That's what would happen here if this was real. If it was real that aliens were a real thing, and if you were spreading, you know, spilling the beans on aliens, then you were like putting the whole country at risk or whatever, then you'd find way more people in this country just falling out of windows. But it doesn't seem to be happening that way. It seems like every single person who talks about aliens is allowed to make all the YouTube videos and all the TikTok videos that they fucking want and go on TV and all of this shit, and nobody says anything. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, kind of seems like a bunch of people making shit up so that they can get views on social media, is what it looks like to me. One more thing I want to talk about here before we move on to something else. One more video. This is from a guy named Sonny Faz, and he made a 20-minute video here. You can find him on Twitter, where he investigated the Miami alien situation. And we're not going to watch the whole 20 minutes of his thing. It's a good watch. He goes out and he talks to people on the street there and all of that stuff. You know, he goes to the actual mall and interviews people who said they were there, and he talks to some of the police even. So it's a pretty cool thing. I recommend checking this out if you got a chance. But there's a little sort of 5-minute segment that I want to review where he goes and talks to this influencer who said she was there. And let's just make this a little bit faster. Let's make it 1.25. And let's check out what she's got to say.
Shit.
How we doing?
Here he is.
Miss Leia Halpern, how you doing?
Are you recording?
This is a serious day. You guys are already too happy. You guys are all smiley and shit. This is ridiculous.
Miss Halpern, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me here today. I need to hear exactly what happened 2 nights ago in Brickell, Miami.
Alright, so I have no idea who this woman is, but apparently she's written a book called Undressing Bitcoin. Which is nice and prominently displayed there. So apparently she's made, and you notice the little Bitcoin sign in the window there. So apparently she's made some money through Bitcoin. So I guess that's her claim to fame. Layla Halpern. I don't know. I could look her up, but I'm not going to. But let's listen to what she's got to say.
Driving with a girlfriend, and it's right by the Miami Heat arena. And there were hundreds and hundreds of cop cars. It literally looked like some kind of terrorist response. I've never seen anything like that.
So you thought there might be a shooter, you thought there might be a big emergency, and your response was to go and check it out.
Yeah, so I thought there was some kind of like terrorist attack, but like everyone was pretty still. There were people on the street, like it's not as if the street was empty, so I was like, oh, whatever, let's like pull up and find out what's going on. So we get out and we start talking to people, asking them like, what's happening? And I kid you not, I asked one guy, and he was like to me, he saw some kind of like, I know it sounds ridiculous, okay, creature that was 7 feet tall. I was like, this man is mad. Let's keep going. So I start talking to another person. I see this woman in a state of panic. So I go over to speak to her, and she tells me that she saw something that looked like something out of the movie Alien from 1980s. Like, I'm dead serious. So I'm like, okay, this is insane. Let me get out my phone.
So this is multiple sources?
I start talking to so many different people, okay? So I get out my phone to start recording. Like, obviously you're doing now, you want to document all this crazy stuff that's happening. And Miami PD come over to me, tell me that this is like a high security area, I'm not allowed to film. They take my phone, make me delete what I'd recorded. I recorded like a couple of seconds, so it wasn't really that useful.
So you're telling me the police officer had you open your phone, go
and delete it, yeah.
Did you have to go to your recently deleted and clear it?
Yeah, they did everything. They would just like delete everything. And then
I find that simply not believable. I'm sorry. I really find that claim not believable. Because there is no law in anywhere where a cop is allowed to make you delete stuff off of your phone. This is a high security area. And all it would take is one person to dispute that and say, no, I'm not doing it. And then they'd have to arrest that guy. Right, and then that means there's a record. Then that means there has to be a court cases and all this other shit and lawyers and not possible. It's just not. I just don't. I'm sorry. I need to see more. I would need to see an actual video of a cop asking somebody to fucking do that. You mean like nobody recorded the police either? In this country, like people record the cops all the time. Especially, you know why people record the cops? So that they can basically have a record of what happens. So if a cop tries to like fucking shaft them or whatever, that's another reason why, you know, and you are allowed to record police in like every state. There was like a Supreme Court case that basically said people are allowed to record the police. Because that's why people do it. They do it because it's evidence. So that, you know, the police can't fuck them up, right? And your phone is one thing. They're not allowed to like search your phone without your consent. Without a court order. They have to go get a warrant to do it. Right? So they can take your phone, but if it's locked and you don't unlock it for them, and then if you get your lawyer to basically stop them from fucking taking it, right? So that way, like, if they get a court order and they open your phone, they can't destroy the evidence. You know, it's done under supervision, shit like that. Right? Like, so, no, a cop, I mean, what did the cop do? Pull his gun out? Force her to fucking delete her phone? Like, delete the video off her phone, threaten her with jail time? That would just get his ass in trouble. I mean, how come, like, somebody would live stream that shit? You know, it just doesn't... I don't fucking believe it. I'm sorry. But, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying the woman's a liar. I mean, maybe it really did happen. I just don't find it believable. Moving on.
I don't know if you know, but the power went out in the surrounding areas. So as we drove away, we could see in the buildings the power went out.
All the buildings just going
Yeah,
out.
but you can literally look that up. Like all the power in the surrounding area went out. So yeah, it was just the craziest experience. Like,
Somehow
and
I
now
don't
the
buy
police are
that
saying
either.
that it was only some juvenile kids playing with sticks and fireworks. I just don't believe that. Like it literally looked like a terrorist response. Like it looked like some kind of 9/11 response.
Miss Leah Halpern, have you ever seen horror movies?
No, I prefer to keep my mind clear of those things. I only watch comedies and psychological films that like.
Okay, well, in horror movies, there's this thing where people do really stupid stuff. So let's say there's ghosts in the house. They don't leave. They decide to go upstairs and check it out. Kind of sounds pretty familiar. You know, you hear a potential terrorist attack going on, hundreds of cop cars, and you just go right into the.
Well, I mean, it was like. I mean, would you not?
I'm like Batman. Mrs. Halpern, did you witness this man?
All right, now it's getting dumb. Now it's getting dumb, but that was her main story there, right? Basically saying that she saw people that told her that they saw an alien and then they made her delete her phone. Now, am I saying that this woman is lying? No, maybe it actually really happened. I just don't find it believable. I don't find it believable that the police making you delete your phone now. I don't find it believable. I would find it more believable of them confiscating your phone and then having your phone suddenly disappear. That I would find believable. But them making you delete it right in front of them, there's no fucking way. It's just not. It's just no. If anything, they would confiscate it. Like, that shit happens all the time. You know, where police will confiscate something and then it just disappears. You know, like they'll take your if you ever get in trouble, they take your computer or something and then you just never get it back. It just ends up in an evidence locker forever. More likely it ends up going home with one of the cops. That's what really more like is what happens. But yeah, I just don't find that, you know, then they made me delete it. They made me go into my recently deleted and delete that. It's like, bullshit. Bullshit. Like, if you guys are going to make something up, make it believable. You know what I mean? Say, hey, they took my phone and smashed it or something. I would believe that too. A cop taking a phone and smashing it. Because what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? Stop him? Yell at him? Get his bat? No. Like, I would believe that over them making you delete it. One more thing. One last little thing here. Just to kind of cement this whole thing home. Here is a photo on Reddit. This is a supposed photo of an alien that came from this mall here. This is the supposed photograph of one of the aliens. Unfortunately, this is not an actual photo of an alien. This is from a movie. And I'm not exactly sure what movie it is because the link to it has been removed. Where did this come from? Somebody on TikTok made a video with this as their background, saying that this was one of the aliens that they found at the Bayside Mall in Miami. And this was quickly debunked. Just kind of goes to show you folks how fast this stuff develops and how quickly people jump on this kind of thing in order to get clicks and likes and in order to get followers on social media. This was posted like the exact same day all of this shit happened. Like, I think it was the 2nd of January. Like, it was either New Year's, 1st of January, 2nd of January, one of those days. Like, within like 24 hours of this whole thing happening at the mall, people were already posting bullshit like this to social media, right? So just to kind of show you, man, it's like, and now here's the thing. There are people who will believe now that there were aliens at this mall forever. Even though the video of the 3 aliens walking in front of the mall was debunked, even though the one guy, that the first witness who said that he saw it, came out and said that he was trolling, all of that stuff, even though all of that shit happened, there are now people who believe it forever. So I did have one more photo. Let me see if I can find it. This is of aliens inside the mall. Last one that we're going to look at here. And this one we're going to need to make it bigger. We don't need any audio for this because this is why I can't fucking stand TikTok. Like, what is this shit? Just show me the photo, okay? I don't care about you. I don't want to see, like, I notice this is a thing that all the kids do on TikTok. They do this green screen shit where they like have the photo in the background and so we could see their face. I don't give a fuck about your face. Show me the fucking video. See, it's like, here we go. Okay. This supposedly is the aliens. See these black things here, that black thing, and this black thing? That's supposedly the pictures of the aliens in the crowd. A little bit closer now. And this is the video here, right?
Bro. Everyone's going this way. Yo, what is that?
See how it's all weird and blurry though, right? So, looks a little, I mean... First off, it's extremely blurry. You can't tell what the hell is going on. It looks AI generated to me, is what this looks like. Because let's just kind of rewind that a little bit. So, look at how the people move. See that? See right here, this thing? See where my mouse is? Watch that. See it? It doesn't look right. See how it's like, okay, here's this. It's like there's a person standing here and a person there and a person there. But they just sort of pop into it. It's like this person walks over, like, all right, so this is a head and then like a body and a skirt and some legs. This person walks over them, but you can still see her legs underneath. Like, watch. See? See that? See that? It's like that person, it's like this person is behind them, but then they move in front of them, right? Why? Because it's AI generated. Okay? Because it's not actually real. It's AI generated, right? AI really can't make a video worth a damn just yet. It can make really weird, creepy looking video, but not something that looks super convincing. Just yet. It will pretty soon, but at this moment, no. If you go on like Chat GPT or whatever the AI developer thingy is, there's like 50 of them now, and you have it make a video for you, it looks wacky. And that's what is going on here. Okay. Just look at that. See? See how it's walking and then it like cuts? Right? It cuts like, see this one? See this blob right here? Like moving forward and then it suddenly cuts like bang and it moves all the way like, yeah. I mean, and does it look like these people are running away? That's the other thing. These people are supposed to be running away from these aliens, right? Doesn't look like they're running away to me. This is obviously fucking fake. It's obvious bullshit. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense. And plus, it's so fucking blurry. Like, what is this guy filming this shit with a potato? Like, anyway, enough of this. So, I'm sorry, folks. I just don't buy it. And here's the last nail in the coffin for me. Is that supposedly, apparently, this kind of mass hysteria at this particular mall is not the first time this has happened. Seems like 3 or 4 times in the last couple of years, including last New Year's, that is New Year's 2023, there was the same kind of disturbance at this mall. That is to say, people fighting, people lighting fireworks, gunshots, and a huge police response at this exact same mall. And just seems like, oh, well, it seems like this mall is just a rowdy place where the kids fucking get crazy on New Year's. And it happened again, and the cops were expecting the shit to happen. And then it seems like the police thought it was an active shooter thing. So they showed up with 60 cop cars to make sure that there wasn't a massacre going on. That's kind of what it looks like, and all of these people have just turned it into this supposed alien, invasion scenario where that just has really just no plausible, basis in reality. It's really kind of, I mean, once again, folks, I am a believer in UFOs. I believe in UFOs. I believe aliens are real. I even believe that aliens may have visited the Earth at some point in the past. It seems to me that, or even now, I really do believe that there are probably alien races out there with technology that if they wanted to, they could come visit us on Earth. I don't see, given the vastness of the universe, the age of the universe, I really don't see anything that would make that impossible. It seems very, very plausible to me that that is the case. I just, here at this particular event, at this mall, it just doesn't add up. Very much seems like this is just a bunch of kids trolling who are like, you know, having fun, and a bunch of people trying to get social media engagement over it, and taking advantage of a group of believers who, quite honestly, will believe any kind of stupid bullshit you can put in front of their face. That's the other thing about the UFO community, is that they're gullible as hell. Paranormal people in general, like, want to believe stuff, and they'll go out of their way to believe stuff. But, you know, but when it comes to, like, belief in UFOs, there's something like, and belief in aliens, there's something special about a belief in UFOs and a belief in aliens that will make you overlook obvious bullshit. It really has to do with this, people really just want this to be true. They really want there to be aliens that they find in their lifetime. And I'm sorry, folks, it's just not happening. It's like, right now, this is not it. I don't know. I hope it happens one day before I die. I hope it'll probably happen the day I die. I'll probably be like 94 and like fucking breathing on a respirator and shit. And then like right when I take my last breath is when the Martians fucking land on the White House lawn. And like with my dying breath, I'll see it on TV, and then it's like, oh, I'm dead. Like that's probably what's gonna fucking happen. I don't know. Hello folks, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.